I'm unaware why journalists are calling these two the most volatile social media accounts. Like, journalists, would you like to spin around my circles just for a couple of seconds? And you'll see people far more volatile. It's just that they get banned. They don't have a blue check mark to protect them. And I suppose it's also the position, right? Because people look up to CEOs and former US presidents who are supposed to read from a teleprompter. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. You're hired to be the sock puppet, the meat puppet, where the teleprompter has a hand up your tushy, and you get to speak like a muppet. But, every now and then you have people who do not follow the mold, and this is why it's happening. Yes, I know Donald Trump did get banned, but he didn't get banned for speaking naughty things. He got banned for other reasons. Now, what ended up happening is that Elon Musk, a couple of days ago, he said that he never voted Republican before. And I viewed this, because I always thought that he was more of a right-winger, but I viewed this kind of like trying to approach the conversation like, hey, I'm a liberal like you guys. Is the type of person that's like, hey, I used to be a Christian as well. I didn't think much of it, but Donald Trump then said, oh, well, he said he voted for me and I'm a Republican, so clearly he lied. And then Elon Musk said, well, Donald Trump is old and he carries a lot of baggage. He should just sail quietly into the sunset. And now Trump is responding with, when Elon Musk came to White House asking me for help on all of his many subsidized projects, whether it's electric cars that don't drive long enough, driverless cars that crash, or rocket ships to nowhere, without which subsidies he'd be worthless, and telling me how he was a big Trump fan and Republican, I could have said, drop to your knees and beg, and he would... It's absolutely hilarious. And people are pointing out that this looks photoshopped. To me, this looks more like a cardboard cutout. To which Elon Musk responds, Lamau, an old man yelling at the sky, like, look, Elon, contact me. I'll tell you how to give better replies. You should have said, mucho texto. I wonder what he would have said if he came out and say, I don't speak leftism, mucho texto. I'm a right-winger now. I don't speak leftism. And then pointed out to a couple of policies from Donald Trump that are more left-wing. But anyway, no, I think this is the end of the conversation. Now, Trump says that Elon doesn't plan on buying Twitter. I disagree. I think that this is still part of the negotiation phase. Why is Elon Musk being sued right now? He's being sued so that he is forced to buy Twitter. I want you to understand, in the beginning, he came on and he wanted to buy Twitter and everyone said, no, you're not allowed. We're never going to sell. And now they're trying to make him buy it by force. Like, a judge is going to force him to pay the money, and in exchange, he's going to get Twitter anyway. So this is where we're at. What I do think is happening is going to be the negotiation phase and the lawsuit. They're probably going to have to show that Twitter doesn't have the bots that Elon is claiming. They're going to have to show that Twitter has less than 5% bots. I don't think they can do that. I have used this platform for years. I guarantee to you it has more than 5% bots. So they're going to have to do that in court. If they can't do that, then their stock are going to plummet. At which point, Elon can just come up with another offer and can say, hey, well... it's $10 a stock now, is it? Okay, now I want to buy. Perfectly feasible. I don't see why people are all of a sudden just thinking, oh, well, negotiations aren't going to happen. Negotiations and arbitration is still part of a trial, and the two parties are still trying to convince one another about buying it, except that Twitter wants it to buy it at full price, while I'm pretty sure Elon Musk will buy it at a cheaper price. This has happened before in the economic world or in the finance world. This is not something new. There are a lot of mergers and acquisitions that ended up exactly the same. A person signs a contract, the company starts selling, they point out to a couple of inconsistencies and it's like, oh, I don't like this, I don't like that. They go to court, they negotiate, and then it happens again. Of course, it is possible that the transaction is not going to happen, because at the end of the day, I can't predict the future. But I do lean on the fact that Elon Musk, despite the fact that the media wants to claim that he is a person with not many neurons in the head, that there's people on Twitter that like to say, well, he's like a car salesman, he always lies. Okay, but he got to the place where he is because he is economically savvy and he understands the financial institutions. You don't just get to where Elon Musk is, like without being smart. So obviously he understands the game. Obviously he may have a plan. Because I remember in the beginning he was actually saying that he wanted to create his own social media company. Notice how he's not talking about that. Like, he's not talking about plan B at all. That was plan B, buying another social media company. He's not talking about it. Why not? Well, because I think that he actually plans on still acquisitioning Twitter just for a lower price. And there are shenanigans at foot. Like, why did Twitter fire 30,000 engineers without consulting him? I mean, isn't this a reason to at least negotiate and talk again? It's like, well, when I wanted to buy your company, it had 30,000 people. You fired them without consulting me. What's going on? It's kind of like buying a house. And then before the contract is made, the person goes and removes all the radiator and the lights and the furniture from the house. And you're like, hold on a little bit. All right, we didn't discuss about that. You didn't consult me. So I get it. Now, with Donald Trump, I mean, he always responds to people that are being bratty towards him. And honestly, I find this to be incredibly funny because the journalists, they hate both Trump and Elon Musk, and they don't know which side to take now. Like, it's so bizarre, right? Because the journalists, on one hand, they have such strong presence on Twitter, most of it pumped up by bots that they had to pay for. So they don't want Twitter to stop favoring them and giving them special perks like the blue check mark. But on the other hand, they also hate Donald Trump. So it's very difficult for journalists now to write any articles about this because they would have to pick a side. Like, no matter what they pick, they're going to dislike it. As you can see here, like, why is Trump mad at Elon? I explained. No way he gets reelected after this. I think people overestimate Elon Musk's influence. I mean, yeah, sure, I want him to own Twitter, but other than that, he's not my buddy. He's not my friend. We don't drink beer together. We don't barbecue together. Like, there was a person in the comment section. It's like, oh, so you thought Elon Musk is your friend. Dude, I don't view people on the internet, online, that I never interact with, like personalities as friends or enemies. I view, like, this is a person that if I pledge some support, they might make my life better or worse. With Elon Musk, if he purchases Twitter, there is a chance that my life can be better. I can laugh more. I can smile more by seeing shit like this. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.